Rakim Athelstan Meyers didn't grow up with dreams of being famous. For him, survival was the priority. Born on October 3, 1988, in Harlem, New York City, Rakim was named after one of hip-hop's greatest pioneers, Rakim of Eric B. and Rakim. But greatness seemed distant when his family was scraping by, drifting from one homeless shelter to another, struggling to find stability. Rocky's father, who hailed from Barbados, was arrested when the boy was only 12 years old. His older brother, the person who first introduced him to the art of rapping, was murdered when Rocky was just 13. These two brutal losses carved deep scars into his psyche, but they also ignited a fierce determination. His brother's memory became a haunting motivation. Rap wasn't just a hobby, it was a ticket out of poverty and pain. While the streets of Harlem were notorious for crime and hardship, they were also a breeding ground for creativity. In 2007, Rocky's path crossed with A$AP Yams, a visionary young man with an encyclopedic knowledge of hip-hop and a dream of uniting talented, like-minded creatives. Together with A$AP Bari and A$AP Ills, they formed A$AP Mob, a collective that combined music, fashion, art, and lifestyle under one powerful brand. For Yams, Rocky was a star waiting to be born. Yams' guidance was instrumental, teaching Rocky how to blend his gritty Harlem influences with Southern-style beats, creating something fresh and boundary-breaking. But it wasn't just about music. The A$AP Mob ethos was about culture, about rewriting the rules of what a New York rapper could be. In October 2011, Rocky released his debut mixtape, Live. Love, A$AP. The world had never heard anything quite like it. With singles like Peso and Purple Swag, he painted vivid pictures of Harlem life over ethereal, slow-burning beats that drew as much from Houston's chopped and screwed style as from New York's lyrical grit. Almost overnight, Rocky went from an underground sensation to a mainstream contender. Labels swarmed around him, and he eventually signed a $3 million deal with RCA Records and Polo Grounds Music. Yet, his rapid success never dulled his ambition. Rocky knew this was just the beginning. His first studio album, Long Live, A$AP, released in 2013, marked his arrival as a force in the music industry. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, proving Rocky's star power. The tracks were as diverse as his influences. Goldie highlighted his lyrical prowess, while Wild for the Night featuring Skrillex showcased his willingness to experiment with EDM. But it was the smash hit F***Kane Problems, a collaboration with Drake, 2 Chainz, and Kendrick Lamar, that dominated the airwaves. It became one of the biggest anthems of the year, earning Grammy nominations and catapulting Rocky into global fame. Just as Rocky was riding high, tragedy struck. On January 18, 2015, A$AP Yams passed away from a drug overdose. The death of his mentor and close friend shook Rocky to his core. Yams had been his creative partner, his brother in arms. Devastated but determined to honor Yams' legacy, Rocky poured his grief into his second album, At Long Last. A$AP, released in May 2015, the album was a psychedelic, genre-bending journey that defied categorization. Tracks like L$D showcased his melodic side, blurring the line between rapping and singing, while Everyday featured an unlikely collaboration with Rod Stewart, Miguel, and Mark Ronson. The album debuted at #1, proving Rocky's ability to evolve and innovate despite personal loss. But the pain of losing Yams lingered, driving him to push his art even further. Parallel to his musical ascent, Rocky was making waves in the fashion world. Known for his bold style and willingness to experiment with high fashion and streetwear alike, he quickly became a front-row regular at runway shows and a collaborator with top designers. From partnerships with Dior and Gucci to launching his own creative agency AWGE, Rocky proved himself as much a trendsetter as a hitmaker. Fashion, for him, wasn't just about clothes, it was about expressing identity and challenging norms. In July 2019, while touring in Sweden, Rocky was involved in a street altercation with 2 men. Although he claimed self-defense, he was arrested and held in jail for over a month. The case drew international attention, with celebrities and even then President Donald Trump advocating for his release. Ultimately found guilty of assault but given a suspended sentence, Rocky returned home determined to channel his experiences into art. His time in jail had been a humbling experience, a reminder of where he came from and how far he had risen. Around 2020, the world saw a different side of Rocky, one more personal, more intimate. His relationship with Rihanna, already a powerhouse in music and fashion, became public, sparking global fascination. They welcomed their first child, a son named RZA Athelstan Meyers, in May 2022, named after the legendary Wu-Tang Clan leader, RZA. During Rihanna's 2023 Super Bowl halftime show, she revealed her pregnancy with their second child, born later that year. Despite fatherhood and fame, Rocky remained creatively restless. In 2022, he released the single, DMB, featuring Rihanna, hinting at a collaborative future between the two. His upcoming album, Don't Be Dumb, promises to be his most ambitious work yet. Ultimately found guilty of assault but given a suspended sentence, Rocky returned home determined to channel his experiences into art. His time in jail had been a humbling experience, a reminder of where he came from and how far he had risen. Around 2020, the world saw a different side of Rocky, one more personal, more intimate. His relationship with Rihanna, already a powerhouse in music and fashion, became public, sparking global fascination. They welcomed their first child, a son named RZA Athelston Mayers, in May 2022, named after the legendary Wu-Tang Clan leader, RZA. During Rihanna's 2023 Super Bowl halftime show, she revealed her pregnancy with their second child, born later that year. Despite fatherhood and fame, Rocky remained creatively restless. In 2022, he released the single, DMB, featuring Rihanna, hinting at a collaborative future between the two. His upcoming album, Don't Be Dumb, promises to be his most ambitious work yet. A$AP Rocky's journey is one of resilience and innovation. From his harsh upbringing to becoming a global icon, he has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's expected from a rapper. His ability to merge music, fashion, and cultural commentary has cemented his place as one of the most influential artists of his generation. But for Rocky, the journey is far from over. As he continues to evolve, both artistically and personally, one thing remains certain: his story is still being written. As of 2025, A$AP Rocky's net worth is estimated at approximately $20 million. Born Rakim Mayers on October 3, 1988, in Harlem, New York, he rose to prominence in the early 2010s with his unique style, combining Southern hip-hop influences with his own Harlem upbringing. His rapid ascent in the industry is marked by his talent not only as a rapper but also as a songwriter, producer, and fashion icon. A significant portion of A$AP Rocky's wealth comes from his successful music career. He gained widespread attention with his debut mixtape, Live, Love, A$AP, 2011, which earned critical acclaim and led to a $3 million record deal with Sony, RCA Records, and Polo Grounds Music. His major label debut album, Long Live, A$AP, 2013, featured hit singles like F***K and Problems, and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. The success continued with his second album, At Long Last, A$AP, 2015, which also debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. His ability to maintain mainstream popularity while experimenting with various musical styles has contributed to his lasting relevance and profitability. Beyond album sales and streaming revenue, A$AP Rocky's earnings have been supplemented by extensive touring. His concert tours have drawn large audiences worldwide, earning him millions through ticket sales and merchandise. A$AP Rocky has also built a strong reputation in the fashion industry. Known for his bold and unique fashion sense, he has collaborated with high-profile designers like Raf Simons and brands such as Dior Homme and Calvin Klein. His influence in fashion led to the launch of his own clothing line, where he implemented a creative direction inspired by his own style and streetwear culture. In 2016, A$AP Rocky partnered with Guess to release a capsule collection inspired by 1990s fashion, which proved to be commercially successful. His reputation as a trendsetter continues to attract lucrative endorsement deals and collaborations, adding significantly to his net worth. A$AP Rocky's business interests have extended beyond music and fashion. Recently, he has been part of an American consortium involved in discussions to acquire Tranmere Rovers, a football club competing in England's League Two. This move into sports ownership reflects his broader ambitions as an entrepreneur looking to diversify his investment portfolio. While the financial details of this potential acquisition are not fully disclosed, it's a testament to his expanding business acumen. Despite legal challenges throughout his career, including a high-profile incident in Sweden in 2019 and a recent trial related to gun possession in which he was found not guilty, A$AP Rocky's financial standing remains strong. His reputation as an artist and entrepreneur has proven resilient, bolstered by his ability to adapt and evolve across multiple industries. Net worth breakdown: music, albums, tours, streaming, $10 million. Fashion collaborations and merchandise, $5 million. Business ventures and investments, $5 million. With continued ventures in fashion, sports ownership, and music, A$AP Rocky's net worth is expected to grow even further in the coming years. His creativity and business sense have secured his position as one of the most influential artists of his generation.